All right, it is July 27th. I hope to have this out and maybe tomorrow. Hopefully the update doesn't come out like last time when I made one of these rant videos. But realistically, what I'm concerned about is just the amount of people who are getting their hopes up with the matchmaking update that has been promised by the big Y. Expected, if his Discord message is to be taken as fucking law, which realistically he wouldn't have announced if it wasn't actually going to happen. And again, I see all these videos going out right now from all the content creators, because this is something big. It's really big. It's probably like the biggest thing we've had since probably the Soul and the Rift changes. But we got to be realistic here as to what our expectations should be when it comes to the matchmaking, because realistically, what the fuck can they do outside of maybe overhauling their whole MMR system, resetting ranks, and the most important one, arguably what I consider the most important one, the draft system. The draft system, which is expected in pretty much every MOBA that you come across nowadays. Dota, League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm. Shout out that game. Oh my gosh. I think people are putting their hopes up because I think with this matchmaking update, it's only really going to kind of band-aid the situation that's been going on with a lot of gameplay stuff. I think right now the meta is in a somewhat healthier state, at least compared to what was the jungle fuck of like the month of earn changes. I think right now the Rift is very, very comfortable. I think the Urn itself is also back to its healthy state. Though I think personally certain heroes and item interactions is generally what's been my biggest frustration point. Specifically, I mean everybody's got the clips. Fucking Echo Shard, man. Echo Shard. What an item. Oh my goodness. Just remove the resistances and make it increase the cooldown or something. I don't know. It's really good. Or rather, it just allows a lot of really unhealthy playstyles, in my opinion. I don't think it needs to be removed or like giga nerfed, but I do think it requires a little bit more fine-tuning. I could see it working out in the future, but that aside, we're not ranting about that. I'm more concerned as I look into like matchmaking and stuff, as I've been speaking with people in game about what they expect. A lot of people just expect like a full rank reset with matchmaking, pick ban and everything. Like a whole entourage of changes that'll make the game actually playable. To which I say, I don't think that's gonna happen. At least not initially. It's gonna be a lot of growing pains before then. I imagine maybe a month, similar to the Urn and the Rift spawns. I expect a lot of negative and positive changes, just a whole roller coaster situation where the dev team is actively trying to figure this stuff out. And I'm sure they've already been fine-tuning this system. Who knows what's going to happen within the next couple days, presuming it releases this week. But this game is still in public alpha. While yes, it is being played competitively, which by the way, if you are in the Southern California area, go ahead and look into guildlife.gg. It's going to be a live presentation by the Guild House over on twitch.tv in San Jose, California. As far as I'm aware, it's a free event. It's going to be happening August 8th to 9th. Which would be very fun. I'm going to be there, at least try to attend in person, watch the games, maybe find some people to play with. But I'm not sponsored, by the way. I think I already said that, but I'm not sponsored. This is just a cool event that I think we should support because grassroots esports for this game are going to be really cool, and I hope to support it in the future. Anyways, back to the video. As it stands, this game is being played competitively. It's pretty well known, at least within the community itself, and I think it's beginning to gain more traction as fan art and other online media sources are beginning to present the game. And as well, algorithms starting to show up. I think I've gotten a lot more people to talk to about Deadlock recently. And I think right now, the game currently is averaging 50 to 60,000 players. It's definitely down from when the original 6 hero update happened, as well as the one back in January. But I think right now the game's on a good pace. I don't think the dev group and the dev team itself is at the leisure to massively overhaul this game as much as they probably want to, due to the fact that there's already an active player base that is just on a daily basis interacting with the game. It's definitely good for feedback and data requirement, but I don't think it's gonna give them as much liberty as they probably should have when it comes to making a game, especially one of this caliber. And any meaningful changes that they do will definitely take a lot more time. I do want to make the distinction that I am not an apologist for the dev team. I understand that making games is difficult, and I do want to give them credit that they are working behind the scenes because they actively are and more engaged with our community than we rightfully should have with these people. The last thing I want this community to end up is like the Dead by Daylight folks over there. Which, shh, I might have to edit that out so we don't get those fucking psychos over here. But being in a more serious tone, the active gameplay decisions that are being made, and as well just like long-term business plans that they have for Deadlock, probably have come into discussion when it comes to these massive changes such as matchmaking, because of the fact that it will have an impact on nearly every player in the game. Even for everyone who's in like Street Brawl or playing custom matches or dicking around on custom maps, whatever. A patch like this makes a big difference, and if they fumble it, it might lead to long-term negative effects towards the game's population and popularity. So with that being said, you kind of got to tread the ground a little steadily, because if you overstep, you might fuck up the game for a couple months, and then everyone's going to dip out for a bit. Which, I mean, you know, might be good, might be bad, one would say, but personally for me, I want to see this game succeed, and I'd rather it do it with prepared, calculated decisions rather than just tossing in a matchmaking update. Here, damn, take your update, shut up. And then we just get kind of a half-baked nothing burger because we were too busy crying about it rather than being willing to just wait for what would be an actual good long-term decision that we'd all benefit from. If I really had to get on my knees and just like beg Yoshi and the development team, it would please just be the draft. Please, just be draft. There's been so many games recently where I'll pick just a character that gets demolished by certain heroes in the opposite lineup, where I have to actively counter by out of no reason really, except for the fact that I could have gotten another hero that would have been fine. But because of the way that matchmaking works, and it's just like, oh, pick certain heroes and hope you get the right one, it's very coin flippy. Sometimes it just leads to very unfair and just unpleasant matchmaking issues. And sometimes you'll just be sitting there at the end of the screen being like, oh, okay, I don't want to play anymore. I won't lie, I've had some of those recently. Especially since I started playing Lady Geist again, which is where I've got all this footage for my video that's coming up probably tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta make a thumbnail first. Also, just forget you saw any of this footage. I gotta put like funny edits and shit. Shh. But realistically, I need to take a shot every time I say that word. I think it's like 6 times now. 6 times. I think the matchmaking update is probably just going to be an MMR synchronization. Probably looking into all the data that's been provided by all the constant matches that have been played out throughout the game in recent months. Figuring out proper MMR positioning and maybe making it towards like quality of life matches are prioritized rather than actual queue times, which, because I'll be honest with you, I've recently hit back to Ascendant 6, Eternus 1. I've been flip-flopping in between them recently. And my queue times have gone a little poorer. I'm sitting around like maybe 4 to 8 minutes every single time. If I'm lucky, it's like a minute. And then if I'm really unlucky, I think the longest I've had recently was like 12 minutes. But that was because it was like 2 a.m. or some shit. But you get it. Like I said, this kind of comes back to player counts, because of the fact that in those higher ranks, you're just going to have less people populating those servers. And since the game is only at 50,000 concurrent players on average, we're not going to use numbers as a distinction of whether the game is good or not. We're just using them as a means of explaining ourselves. We kind of have to recognize that out of those 50,000, maybe about 5 towards 8,000 of those people are actually within the threshold to like provide a match of the same quality and skill that I am at. As well as, you know, the fact that it shrinks even more to such a minuscule, maybe a handful of people once you get past like Eternus 3, Eternus 4. I assume down in the lower ranks, it's probably not an issue. And if even then, you just go to Street Brawl or have fun with bots and, you know, other stuff. But I think as we get closer towards an official release of Deadlock, which, you know, copium. Ever since the release of the Steam Machine, I kind of expected maybe some more, but, you know, I'm greedy. It's okay, I get to enjoy my other games. I think the game is getting towards a really good state. It's very well polished compared to the original days. And I believe, it's in my opinion, that we're only a couple, maybe like a year away from an actual release date. Maybe not a full release, but maybe a public beta. One that's actually promoted and not through closed alpha invites. But right now, I think the matchmaking update, provided that we get it this week, will probably give us a good indication as to what the future of the game is. I think it's going to be positive. Frankly speaking, I think it's going to be positive. Will we get some minor like balance patches? I really hope so, because certain characters have been really frustrating to deal with, mainly just, as I mentioned, Echo Shard Haze, fucking Warden is just... Oh my god, I hate Warden. I don't like Warden. His fucking Spiritual Overflow. We gotta nerf that item.
Nice.
And I say that as someone who uses characters that love that item. That item is just fucking stupid. Spiritual Overflow, Cheat Death. I think there's a couple other things, maybe just in terms of skill. I still find frustrations with Holiday. But these are more of a personal vendettas. I don't really think it's that important. I'm more focused on the matchmaking and how that's going to change a lot of the gameplay for us. Mainly because of the fact that if it comes out right, you can't blame your teammates anymore. I think it's going to cause a lot of issues just off the initial release of it, which is why they probably held off on announcing it so far. But I'm optimistic.
My fucking goat. My fucking
Very
goat.
optimistic. Dangerously so.
Alright, let's just...
But that's it for today.
Okay, go mid.
If you have any thoughts as to what's
I
going to
can go
happen,
mid
presuming
with
that the
something
update
good.
doesn't go live by the time this video happens, please swear to God, it'd be really funny, but also please don't invalidate my entire video by then, Yoshi. Yoshi! Okay, that's enough dicking around. Thank you for watching. New video coming out tomorrow. Just a basic Geist dump because I haven't really done one of those recently. I've been kind of posting a bunch of bullshit. I don't know if you guys have been watching my shorts, but the Uma Musume stuff has been really fun. I've been making those in a Discord with my friend. I'll probably make some more here and there. This was just a fun little thing because I was bored for a couple hours. Anywho's, have a good night. Or day. Frankly, I don't give a damn. You know what? Warm pillow. Yeah. Suffer.
Beautiful, let's get it.